how do we deal with the office politics? Hanji Sangat ji, how do we deal with office politics? The question is that you work very hard, you're Amritari Gursikh, banda kam karda apne daftar de vich, daftar means office, and kam karde you are made to afterwards feel worthless, that you have made no contribution. How can you deal with your office politics? ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ politics ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨਾਲ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਹਮਣਾ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ? So if anybody has any answers for that, please do write. Or if Veer ji, Diliwar ji, Paisa ji, Raman Paji, if you would like to come on the video as well, you're more than welcome. That is, you can just open up. Guru Sahib Kripa kar. So which I would suggest is ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, our real boss is Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Sada asli malik, sada asli manager हैगा Guru Nanak Pasha. Our real boss is Guru Sahib. So we should always work sincerely and work hard. Whether humans recognize our hard work or not, we should know in our deep heart that Vaheguru Ji is watching, Maharaj is watching. Sad sunda, sad vekhda, shabd riya bharpoor. He is watching, he is listening, he is everywhere. The Maharaj vekhde a, that's number one. So stay positive. I'm going to share one thing which I remember when I used to teach at school. Jadon da school padhaunda si ta ek utte banda si utte kam karda, senior si banda. ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਸੁਭਾਅ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਹੋਤਰਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਸੀ, ਖੁਸ਼ਕ ਸੁਭਾਅ ਸੀ. So somebody who worked at the school was more senior, was a bit of a, not ਖੁਸ਼ਕ ਸੁਭਾਅ, dry personality, a bit arrogant and a bit rude, shall I say. He was a bit rude and not very nice to talk to. He was very snappy. I'll give you an example. There was once sitting in a meeting. All the teachers are sitting there. And the person said, he goes, if anybody got any questions, anything needs clarifying. I put my hand up because, oh, excuse me, can you clarify that? I didn't understand what you said. Can you just clarify it again? फिर तुसी दोबारा इन्हू स्पष्ट अर्थां नाल समझा सकदे, मैनूं समझ नहीं आई, मैं हत्थ खड़ा कीता. And what you mean? You don't understand? Were you listening? Were you? I'm like, why Guru? Oh, टुट के बंदा पै गया. He just had a go at me and said, what do you mean? You're not listening. You're not listening. I'm like, I'm okay. I thought, I'm never putting my hand up again in a meeting. If you don't understand, just stay quiet. I remember once then, I was asked to be seen by him. So I got a message that can I go to the office as this senior person in the school would like to speak to me. And I thought, oh no, this is do you do online Sikhi classes? Not officially, no. Could be something we start, don't know if anybody wants is interested. So what happened is that this person, he asked to see me, and I thought, oh dear. I remember listening to a talk, a Singh Sabha Gurdwara Coventry ek lecture hoya si, bahut sona Gursikh bole si utte, really nice lecture by Gursikh. And in the lecture they said, if there's anybody who you feel negative energy from, negative vibration, je idda da koi hega jina karke tonu negative feeling on there, where you feel you get a really, not so good feeling from. Really nice advice, bahut soni sajha dete. They said, think of them in your mind, similar to what we do about mindfulness and meditation. Think of them in your mind, apne man vich ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ picture ਬਣਾ ਲਓ जिस बंदे नाल तुहाडी problem है. So I was going to meet this senior teacher. Obviously he's very rude, very abrupt, और बोलने दा तरीका बड़ा रफ है, बड़ा मतलब सुभाव ही कौड़ा जिहा सी बंदे दा. तां मैनूं जाके मिलना पिया सी. So I pictured him in my mind. And the advice of the Gursikh to the lecturers, they said, smile and do a Mool Mantra part. And then after doing the Mool Mantra part, say, Vaheguru Ji, may the blessings of this Mool Mantra part go to that person. See, sending a text message, you can say. Vaheguru text message, Mool Mantra text message. So उन्होंने कहा फिर तुसी बंदे दी फोटो अपने मन च करके नहीं धार के तो वो स्माइल मुस्कुरा के एक मूल मंत्र दा पाठ करके कहना महाराज ये पाठ दा फल बंदे नूं जावे, स्माइल करो बंदे नूं, सोच के ਉਹਦੇ बारे. सो मैं इदां ही कीता, मैं स्माइल कीता. I did one मूल मंत्र ਦਾ ਪਾਠ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਏ and I smiled and I tried to picture him smiling as well. The best way somebody is giving you a hard time and you want to have good feelings about them is picture them in prayer pose. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਸਕੂਲੇ the kids which I used to teach at school who would misbehave, I used to picture them in prayer pose. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਦਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੋਟੋ ਬਣਾਓ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਿਆਰੇ ਲੱਗਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਆ. So what happened is that when I went to see this person, so a few seconds after I went to the office to see this person, first time I've seen this guy smile and go, hello, how you doing? I just want to see how you're getting on. I thought, oh, no, really? So that worked for me personally. So that's something for you to use at work. But somebody suggested something, so I'm just going to go up. Hanji, by Amarjeet Singh ji. Office politics must be avoided. I do. So ਜਦੋਂ ਮਨ ਸ਼ਾਂਤ ਹੋ ਜੇ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਸੋਚ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਸਭ में जो जोत है सोए हुक्म ही हो रहा. Very good. Very good. बहुत सोना सुझाव वीर जी. So वीर जी suggesting don't get involved in office politics, don't do tit for tat or anything negative politics, and just realize ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ Ji's light is within everybody. ਇੱਕ ਬੜੀ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਆ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਰਾਗ ਦੇ ਪਾਠ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ ਨਾ ਕੋ ਮੂਰਖ ਨਾ ਕੋ ਸਿਆਣਾ ਵਰਤੇ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਤੇਰਾ ਪਾਣਾ. That no one is a fool, no one is wise, because ਨਾ ਕੋ ਮੂਰਖ ਨਾ ਕੋ ਸਿਆਣਾ ਵਰਤੇ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਤੇਰਾ ਪਾਣਾ. Everything is happening according to your will. Have as much sense you've given somebody, they are acting according to that, is out of their control. If Vaheguru you had given them more sense, they would have been said to something more sensible. But the fact is that whatever they got available, they can only do the best of that. So instead of having bad wishes, bad feelings, instead we can do ardas to them or send Abhiji, remind ourselves of Gurbani. That's very nice. So if there's any questions here, Vaheguru ji, so I'm just looking to see. Bye. Achha, Commander ji. I don't know whether Instagram can improve this where चिट्टी writing या ਹੁਣ ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਲਾਈਟ ਪੈ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਨਾ ਤੋਂ ਔਖਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ. This is a bit difficult reading. If anybody's got any suggestions ਇੱਦਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਲਾਈਟ ਔਨ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਉਹ ਨਾ ਠੀਕ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ. ਉਹ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ. So ਭਾਈ ਨਿਰਮਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਜੀਓ ਅੰਤਮ ਸੰਸਕਾਰ ਵੇਲੇ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਭਾਣਾ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ. ਇੰਨੀ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਗੁਰਮੁਖ ਨਾਲ ਇਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਪਰਚਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ. So whatever happened to Bhai Sahib, Bhai Nirmal Singh ji, Hazuri Ragi to their body unfortunately, is this Vaheguru Ji's will or ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਨਾਲ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਦੇਖੋ the same ਇਹ ਸੇਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਆ ਇਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਸਕਦੇ ਸੀ ਵੱਡੇ ਘੱਲੂਘਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੰਨੇ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ਹੀਦ ਹੋਇਆ ਛੋਟੇ ਘੱਲੂਘਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਕਿ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਇਹ ਉਹ ਇੰਨੇ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਸੀ. ਭਾਈ ਨੋਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਬੱਬਰ ਹੋ ਕਿਸੇ ਕੋਈ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਬੜੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਸੀ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਫਾਰਮ ਸੀ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਭਾਈ ਨੋਕ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਬੱਬਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਫਾਰਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਠਹਿਰੇ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਚੌਂਕੜਾ 18 ਘੰਟੇ ਉਹ ਚੌਂਕੜਾ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਾਮ ਜਪਿਆ. ਚੌਂਕੜੇ ਸੀ ਸਿਮ ਭਗਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਲੀਨ ਸੀ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਕੱਢੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ. ਸੋ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਨਾ ਕਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਸੁੱਖ ਲਿਖੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ. ਦੁੱਖ ਸੁੱਖ ਹਰੇਕ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਆ ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੰਨਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਸਹਿਣਸ਼ੀਲਤਾ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ ਇੱਕ ਸਬਰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਆ. ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਸਪਿਰਿਟ ਬਣਦੀ ਆ ਜਿਸ ਸਪਿਰਿਟ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੁੱਖਾਂ ਦਾ ਮੁਕਾਬਲਾ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਤੇ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੂਝ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ. ਔਖੀ ਘੜੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੁਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖਣਾ. ਸੋ ਇਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ. ਸੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ. ਸੋ ਬਾਕੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਦੇਣਾ ਦੇ ਦੱਸ ਦੇਣ. ਸੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਨਾਲ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਪੂਰਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਹੁਕਮ ਹੈ ਅੰਦਰ ਸਭ ਕੋ ਬਾਹਰ ਹੁਕਮ ਨਾ ਕੋਏ. ਮਤਲਬ ਆ ਜੋ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ 'ਚ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਲਿਖੀਆਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਹੀ ਸਾਰਾ ਸੰਸਾਰ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ. ਤਾਂ ਬਾਕੀ ਕੀ ਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਕਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੱਲੀਏ. ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੁਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਬਲਵਾਨ ਕਰ ਲਈ. ਭਾਈ ਵੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਸੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਹੈ ਸੁਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਬਲਵਾਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ 'ਚ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਸੋ ਮੇਰੇ ਖਿਆਲ ਨਾਲ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਨਾ ਆ. ਦੁੱਖ ਸੁੱਖ ਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਣੇ ਇਹਦਾ ਮਤਲਬ ਦੁੱਖ ਸੁੱਖ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੰਦਾ ਚੜ੍ਹਦੀ ਕਲਾ 'ਚ ਰਹੇ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੁਰਤ ਨੂੰ ਡਿੱਗਣ ਨਾ ਦੇਵੇ, ਨਾਲ ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਵੀ। So anybody wants anything reclassifying in Punjabi, I'm sorry, in English, you can please let me know. So I'll just summarize Gurbani, why people who read Gurbani all their life, they're dedicated to Gurbani, and then unfortunate circumstances happen when they die, for example. And the answer to that is that Gurbani, reading Gurbani or doing Simran does not mean that we will not have troubles. You know, in Sikh history, there are many examples of where Sikhs have had Holocaust. And these are very charitable, very spiritually blessed souls who have been, you know, crushed in rotating wheels. We're talking about by Nog Singh Babbar, his eyes were taken out. He's such a spiritual Gursikh, a saint. It's really horrendous thing. How Gurbani, we read Gurbani to make our spirit strong. We read Gurbani to give us the courage to get through life's challenges. The Simran we do gives us the ability to become brave in life, and to, whilst being brave in life, we are always remaining positive and a positive spirit. So hopefully that has answered the question. Bhagat Bani always helped me to get rid of negative people. Man positive ho janda. Dhan Shri Guru Granth Sahib ji, bahut dhanwad ji. So suggesting to read Bhagat Bani for I think that's relating to Veerji regarding the work politics. So next question, Bhai Nog Singh ji ne kende Sampurn Akhand Path ek chaunkare te sunaya si. So Veerji bahut sona point kita, kende that mainu pata nahi si that in one chaunkara, one sitting, Bhai Nog Singh ji Babbar, who became Shaheed, if I'm correct, in 1986, that he did in one sitting a full Akhand Path Sahib, full reading Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. In office issue, in office issue, I always do ardas to Vaheguru Ji, don't let me hit this person, am I wrong? No, but theek hai ji, we shouldn't be hitting anybody in office, you know. I don't think your life's in danger, somebody is going to be hitting you in the office. Controlling anger, obviously if someone's attacking you, we defend ourselves. But I'm assuming no one's attacking you with a telephone or a pen, or no one's being violent to you, hopefully, in the office. Guru Sahib Kirpa Karan. So in those cases that we have to learn how to deal. And one thing is, we should never tolerate work bullying. If you're being bullied, you should always firstly challenge them with sincerity and with grace. Bade sone tarike de naal, bade apne बड़े सत्कार दे शब्दां दे नाल तुसी strong शब्दां दे नाल भी कह, strong but polite. You can say, look, this is unacceptable. With all due respect, I don't appreciate you speaking to me in this way, because I feel you're speaking to me in a rude way. It doesn't matter if they say, oh, I'm not being rude. You may think you're not being rude, but I'm feeling you're being rude. And if I'm feeling it, you need to address that. Okay? So, if someone's being rude, speak to the person directly, give them one. It could be someone doesn't realize, and most of the time, somebody's acting very immature and they thought something was funny, or they didn't realize their consequence of their actions. If it continues, you can give them a second time, you can erase it, or then go above them to their line management. You should have a line manager line, so you go to the manager above that, and so on. You follow the procedures, but do not accept it in silence. Work bullying is not acceptable. No one should feel like rubbish. No one should feel like trash or garbage at work or any other place. If anybody's making you feel worthless and is making you feel down, then you should address that. Is not, I wouldn't just say just stay with your ardas, just read more Gurbani. That's fine, do that as well, but it needs to be addressed, because it could be that you may be going in Chardi Kala, you may deal with it through your Simran meditation. However, there may be somebody in the workplace who is not as chardikala as you, not as lucky as you to read Gurbani and to have Sangat and to relieve their stress that way. It'd be sad if somebody else's life is being ruined this way. So it's actually to help other people as well. Guruji. Just Payanok Singh pick was enough for me to take Amrit. Wow. Shromani ji ने मैसेज पाया फिर सिर्फ पायनोक सिंह जी तस्वीर वेख के ही उन्हों का मन बन जाए मर्शक करने. थैंक यू वेरी मच वीर जी फॉर शेयरिंग. दैट्स वेरी इंस्पायरिंग. प्लीज़ कुछ सुनाओ भाई तलविंदर सिंह जी बारे, बाबा तार सिंह जी, ब्रह्मा जी बारे. मैनू वीर जी इन्हों के इतिहास बारे मैनू बाहला पता नहीं जी. सो आई सजैसट इंटरनेट तो काफ़ी मिल चुका पर मैनू उन्होंने पता नहीं. वह पता फिर शहीद है पर इन्होंने पता उन्होंने जीवन बारे. सो माफ़ करना जी. Unfortunately, I don't have much information about all the shaheeds, but it's very good. Another question was asked, why do some Amritdhari Singhs still practice caste? That was a personal message sent to me. So किसी ने personal message पाया सी question वास्ते for अपने ते पुछन वास्ते ते कई अमृतधारी भी जात पात नू विचारदे आ तां इह क्यों आ. When we take Amrit, we are told our Jat is Khalsa. Hamri Jat Pat Gur Satgur. Hum Vechu Sir Gur Ke. So Hamri Jat Pat Gur Satgur. So my Jat, my social class, my social background is the Guru. ਇਹ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਸਰਬਲੂ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਦੀ ਮਹਿਮਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਹਮਰੀ ਜਾਤ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹਮਰੀ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਹਮਰੀ ਜਾਤ ਰਪਾਤ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜੀ. ਖਾਲਸਾ ਹਮਰੀ ਜਾਤ ਰਪਾਤ. The Khalsa is my caste, the Khalsa is my status. So when we take Amrit Das and there was one Rahatnama, but I remember reading about to France Gurdwara, it was on the wall. ਮੈਨੂੰ ਰਹਿਤਨਾਮਾ ਭੁੱਲ ਗਿਆ ਆ. ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਰਹਿਤਨਾਮਾ ਚੇਤੇ ਤੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਲਿਖ ਦਿਓ. ਉਹ ਰਹਿਤਨਾਮਾ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸੀ ਫਿਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੋਈ ਸਿੱਖ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਹੋ ਕੇ, if anybody is my Sikh, these are the words of Guru Gobind Singh Ji scribed by one of his close Sikhs of the time. It says, whoever is my Sikh and they ask another Sikh what their caste is, then they are no longer my Sikh. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਦੀ ਜਾਤ ਪੁੱਛੇ ਉਹ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ. ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. Don't we wish to become Guru Sahib's Sikhs? If so, then we must identify ourselves with Khalsa. ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਖਾਲਸੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੀਏ. ਖਾਲਸੇ ਸਾਡਾ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਬਣ ਜਾਏ. ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਜਾਤ ਬਣ ਜਾਏ. ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਬਣ ਜਾਏ. ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ. It's nice we go to Khalsa rather than these are the castes and so on. Hanji, so how do you increase prem for Guru Sahib and live by Guru Sahib's hukam? Acha, so Aman Singh ji bada sona sawal puchya. Asi prem kida vada sakde and Guru Sahib de hukam ch reh sakde a. Pehli gall hai to udam karna pena. We have to make effort. One thing is, remember by Balpreet Singh ji from Toronto, apne tapu ban wale bade pyar wale Gursikh, a really nice lecture he did at Khalsa Camp, UK, 2005, if I remember correctly. Was it 6? I think it's 2005. ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਰਹਿਤ ਬਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ lecture ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ. He talked about the Khalsa discipline. Really nice lecture, and where Pai Sahib Ji, he now works part of the World Sikh Organization, Canada, does a really good seva. And Pai Sahib Ji explained Rahat very nicely. There's two types of people. One is somebody follows the Rahat, the outer discipline, because they are expressing their love for Vaheguru Ji. कोई बंदा बाहरली रहत रखदा, कोई बाहरली रहत जिहड़ी आ ਉਹ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਤੀਕ ਹੈ. ਜੋ ਅੰਦਰ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਆ ਉਹ ਬਾਹਰ ਵਿਖਾਲਦਾ ਆ. So the inner love is expressed in our outer actions, our outer disciplines. Then there's somebody maybe like me. मेरे वर्गा कोई हो सकता फिर भाषा प्रेम जिन्ना होना चाहिए है नहीं. How much I should love you, I don't have that love. Please bless me. तरला या अरदास सच्ची भाषा प्रेम दी दात बख्श. Please bless me with prem, love. So for that, then what happens is that you still keep outer disciplines. फिर बाहर की रहत रखनी आ. फिर भी तुसी अपने 5 ककार पाने आ. You wear your 5 ककार. अमृत वेले उठना. You wake up early in the early hours. नितनेम करना. You do your daily part. सिमरन नाम अभ्यास करना जिद्दां पंजां ने तुहानूं दस्सिया आ. You do your practice of नाम as the Panj Bhairav instructed. तुसी बाहरों रेड़ियां तो रेस्टोरेंटों तो नहीं सकना. You don't eat out from the hands of smokers, from people who drink alcohol or keep no hygiene. You eat from the trusted people who are dedicated to the Guru's path and and made the food in the love of the Guru. And for example, you go to Sangat, you do Kirtan, you read Gurbani books, Gurmat based books, and so on. You're doing all these things. And someone says, oh God, this guy must love the Guru so much. Look, he's doing all of this. How about that person's doing all these things so that through those actions can lead them to love? So one is love leading to outer rehat, and the other one is outer rehat leading to love. Both ways. A really nice example which I remember discussing with some youngsters was, when husband and wife in old days, when they got married, someone would say, "Tusi apne ghar wale da una da sab to favorite rang kehda hai? What's their favorite color?" And she would say, "I don't know. I don't know anything about him." ਉਹ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਹੋਣਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ favorite ਸਬਜ਼ੀ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਆ? So the lady you're going to get married to, what's her favorite dish? He goes, I don't know. I don't even know anything about her. In the old days, people didn't even see the face of the person they were marrying. They would sit there and it was just like, wow, is this the person? And probably they'd find out who they got married to once the whole program's finished, because then they would have have enough courage to look in that direction. So imagine the wife, if somebody asked the wife on day one, do you love your husband? And truthfully, the answer is, well, she doesn't even know the guy. She's just literally got married to him. How on earth is she going to be, what they call it, heels over legs or something? There's a heels over legs or whatever they call it. You know what I mean? I'm over the moon. The person is very much in love with somebody. So she said, I don't even know the person. They asked the husband, oh man, you probably, you probably, can't, you must be thinking of your wife all the time. He goes, I just married her today. Do you mean? Can't, I don't even know her. So there's no love because they don't know one another. Now let's move on. When this couple is in their 80s, for example, they're old now. Siyaane ho gaye, dono hon buzurg ho gaya. If you ask the old man about his wife, he will know her favorite colors, what favorite food, he'll know about her habits. Us sing nu apne wife diya aadataं bare pata hoga, favorite khana kehda hai, favorite rang kehde, and so on. Same lady bhi idda hogi, the lady will have the same, she will know one another. And you know what happens when one of them dies? Is many cases when one elderly person dies, the other person dies sometimes the same day or just a few days after. And what happened? They loved one another so much that they couldn't live without one another. Inna pyar bane ek duje de bina reh nahi sakde. Jad ek chadai kar janda ta dooja nalo naal hi chadai kar jande a. So ye prem kidda banaya? So if you're going to look back at this couple's life where they got married, ek duje ne jaande nahi si. Pehla ki si, the wife makes saag, makki di roti bana ke tiyar kar di tha. She makes food and gives it to her husband. Oh, you must really love your husband. Is that why you're cooking all this? Because, no, I just don't want him to have a go at me. I don't want him to shout at me. I don't want him to look at me with his serious stare. Oh, kehndi main prem karke nahi banaya, main ta dar karke banaya. She's made it in fear. But the fear is I don't want to disappoint my husband. He's a good person. I don't know much about him, but he's a good person. मैं उन्हें बारे जानती नहीं, भाई चंगा है, मैंने पता चंगा है. मैं उन्हें नाराज नहीं करना चाहती. नाराज, you don't upset him. That pure fear would lead you into love. So the same thing we just use to Sikhi. Get to know the Guru. How? Through reading Gurbani, Sahaj part. Read Guru Granth Sahib Ji slowly, each Shabd. Wow. Wow, Asa ki war. Wow, this is what Guru Sahib is saying. You get to know this relationship. Wow. Appreciation. Guru Sahib already knows about us, but we get to know about Guru Sahib. Holy, 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 holy. Where we act in fear, first a Sikh, not everybody will have love. In the absence of love, we should be keeping rehat, we should be following the Guru's hukams, the Guru's instructions in pure fear, nirmal pao. In the fear that we do not want to upset our Guru because he is perfect, he is our lovely, he looks after, he is my mother, he is my father. I don't want to disappoint him. And in that pure fear, one day we can hope that the couple's story, that love can be born from them. So hopefully that's answered the question. एक साकी सुनी सी भाई अवतार सिंह महापुरुषा बारे कहंदे घेरा पिया हुंदा सी तां बाबा जी तो कवर नितनेम पोथी दा पाठ करदे सी ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬੁੱਢਾ ਦਲ ਤਰਨਾ ਦਲ ਵਾਲੀ ਪੋਥੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ. Okay, is it ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ or ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ? Well, it depends. In Punjabi there's no W sound, so even if you're going to write water, water would be spelled with the butter in Punjabi. I personally use V, because it's a vava. Some kirtan appeals to more than others. Some feel too modern. Some feel like performance. Any thoughts on this, Virji? Whatever you listen to, Penji, and whatever brings you closer to the Guru, and your mind gets absorbed in the Shabd, listen to that. So the main thing is becoming absorbed in the Shabd and joining with the Shabd. What Guruji says, music is secondary, the Kirtan is secondary, the Shabd is primary. Bhai Sahib ji, how to control anger in difficult times even though we practice spirituality. अपने गुस्से ਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਕਰਨਾ? ਗੁੱਸਾ ਤਾਂ ਹਰੇਕ ਨੂੰ ਆ ਸਕਦਾ ਆ, ਪਰ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ? ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨਾ, when we get angry, do not react. Have that time, that gap just to cool down. ਤਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ, just reminding us of one simple ਪੰਗਤੀ, ਨਾ ਕੋ ਮੂਰਖ ਨਾ ਕੋ ਸਿਆਣਾ ਵਰਤੇ ਸਭ ਕੇ ਤੇਰਾ ਪਾਣਾ. Why am I getting angry? Why? Anger is punishing yourself for somebody else's mistake. Why should I get angry? Then you think, Tika Maharaj, they're acting within how much sense you bless them with. And I think every day, just thinking, if you have done anything in anger, thinking, you know what, I need to improve myself. Just the fact that you are self-conscious of your anger is a sign of spiritual progress. So whenever getting angry, one really nice thing which somebody taught me at university is they said their Dadi ji, their grandmother, ਜਦੋਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦਾਦੀ ਨੂੰ ਗੁੱਸਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਸੀ, ਦਾਦੀ ਨੇ ਗਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੱਢਣੀ, ਦਾਦੀ ਨੇ ਬੁਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਬੋਲਣਾ, ਦਾਦੀ ਨੇ ਰੱਬ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਭਲਾ ਕਰੇ, ਰੱਬ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਭਲਾ ਕਰੇ. She would smile and say, may Vaheguru do good to you. What a nice way to, you know what, then when getting frustrated, rather than saying, instead of Vaheguru ਭਲਾ ਕਰੇ, with a smile. If you make that a habit, I think that's a nice way to control your. Other thing is, if you, for example, get more angry, perhaps we need to think, you know, is there any weakness in my Nityanem? When I'm doing the part, am I feeling it? Again, I would suggest doing a search part and reading the meanings of Gurbani. It really helps for our mind to gradually mold. ਸੁਣਿਆ ਸੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਅਵਤਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਜੰਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀ ਤੇ ਗੋਲੀਆਂ ਚੱਲਦੀਆਂ, ਗੋਲੀ ਚਲਾ ਪਰ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ? It's a bit difficult to read the Romanized Punjabi, maaf karna. I was in praise of Simpai Avtar Singh ji. Are we meant to listen to sounds that we hear in Simran? Some people say listen to the sound right ear, not left. Pata nahi Penji, is it Penji? I'm assuming Tegveer Kaur or Tegveer Singh, maaf karna. So someone is asking now what we're supposed to listen to sound. The most supreme sound, the highest sound is the Shabd. The Shabd Shabd is the Guru Shabd. The Shabd which the Guru has given you, the word that the Guru has given you, listening to that. ਧੁਨ ਮੈਂ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਗੁਰਮਤਿ ਕਥਾ ਕਹਾਣੀ, ਤਾਂ ਧੁਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਆ in the sound. And what is a sound? Gaviya. So what are we saying? So that's what we should be focusing on, what we're saying. Suniya, listen to that, and then enshrine love for that. So any other sounds, I think I personally don't think Gurbani tells us to pursue listening to any sounds. Gurbani tells us to listen to the word. Naam is Kirpa, not forced techniques. How it works is first you sit and speak and listen. Second, as it gets absorbed in your mind like a song, it becomes automatic. ठीक है जी, बहुत बढ़िया. नदर दी गल है, grace. Once Naam is running, automatically the individual gets saved from many vices or vakars. Love automatically grows and the person becomes very humble. Very nice. Bhai Jeevan Singh ji bare kuch sunao ji. Bhai Jeevan Singh ji, there is actually a blog post about Bhai Jeevan Singh ji. So Bhai Jeevan Singh bare Das ne blog te likhya hai. ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਫੋਟੋ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ ਸੋ ਭਾਈ ਜੀਵਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਮਨਵੀਰ ਸਿੰਘ blogspot ਜਾ ਕੇ ਭਾਈ ਜੀਵਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਸਰਚ ਪਾ ਦਿਓ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ so there's stories about ਭਾਈ ਜੀਵਨ ਸਿੰਘ that so that'd be good so I'm gonna ending soon it is time for Rera Sada part in UK this sounds coming whenever Simran is happening that's why Pai Sab thanks again if I'm doing kirtan kar rahe hai so that sound imagine we're going to be doing some Simran so we're doing Simran and someone says I can hear Vajja tabla has been playing and says I can hear tabla I can hear Vajja harmonium someone's I can hear tabla what's the main purpose of us doing this the main purpose is that we are supposed to listen to what's being said Vajja is complementary to what's being said tabla is supposed to be complementing what's being said that is easily becomes absorbed in the heart easily becomes absorbed that we get easily our mind can receive it it's like the arrow is the shabad and the bow is the music now if we keep on looking at the bow and not the arrow we're going to slightly miss the point there so I would suggest hopefully that kind of covers that point I had opportunity to press his legs for 15 minutes my mind had not experienced shanti like that ever very one quick one is I've only seen Pai Jeevan Singh Ji once and Pai Jeevan Singh Ji what year was it 2000 and it was the I think just 1 year before he passed away and it was the first time and the last time I've seen Pai Jeevan Singh I only got to see him once and I went there with my mother Pai Jeevan Singh Ji couldn't speak then Pai Sahib Ji bol nahi sakde si Pai Jeevan Singh Ji and just seeing Pai Sahib Ji brought tears to my eyes so just having the darshan the sight of a Gursikh made not just myself my mother as well she also became emotional when we went to see Pai Sahib Ji we gave him my mum gave him a koti a cardigan and it's really soft material Pai Sahib Ji got it and he just stroked it and I said Mata Ji ne ditti my mum's given this Pai Sahib Ji and then he put it next to him like this and then Pai Jeevan was very weak at that time he couldn't speak and next thing he did was he was rolling so he's lying on the bed and was rolling and as he's rolling his hands were going down like this and I thought is he is he about to fall off the bed is he what's happening here and actually what he was doing he was touching the feet of my mum was an Amritari and that brought tears to my mum was very impressed with Pai Sahib's humility and it left a lasting impression on my mum as well so the humility of Pai Sahib Ji that he always considered himself lower than everybody even if they're younger than age than him is an example of a living example of Gurbani so I think that is all just one question in here then there's 3 didn't realize Pai Sahib Pai Ranteer Singh Ji bare ja Pai Jeevan Singh bare kuch sunao okay that's one question other one was how do you increase prem for we already covered that one and last one why do some sons do bhakti on a lion I don't know why they're doing a lion if anybody's into lions personally I think it's against the law to get lion skin now so I don't think anybody would be doing bhakti on a lion I have seen in some gurudwaras lions personally it's not my personal cup of tea why people do it I don't understand it so I won't make a comment there and perhaps people who do know more about it they can explain but I don't have information nor am I into or the people the Sangat I keep they use lions to sit on obviously we're referring to dead lions if anybody's wondering somebody's sitting on a lion so it's lion skin I'm aware people they have seen pictures but I'm of particular groups or sants who do that but why they do that I don't know is it to keep insects away or animals away when they're sitting in the jungle I don't know I think keep it simple you know, let's all do Simran ourselves and get Guru Sahib's khushiyan, probably the best way. They've done their Simran, they've got something out of it, let's all do Simran as well. Perhaps not lose sleep over the lion, obviously go from there. So I think that's about it. ठीक है जी, I think there's no more questions. बहुत धन्यवाद जी. So भाई साहब, भाई रणधीर सिंह जी, somebody was a very question. I was just talking to a Gursikh about Bhai Sahib Bhai Ranveer Singh ji, and his father became very ill because this coronavirus was happening in the world. Bhai Sahib de pita ji bhi bimar ho gaye si, hospital vich dakhil si, and Bhai Sahib Bhai Ranveer Singh ji read Japji Sahib da Paath. By reading Japji Sahib da Paath, he didn't, the person, the doctor, he had given some medicine, and the father had not taken the medicine, and instead the medicine was the side, and Bhai Sahib had read Japji Sahib da Paath, and Bhai Sahib's father became better, and the doctor said, told you so, you've taken the medicine. He goes, no, we never took the medicine. So it's through Japji Sahib da Paath. Now the question was, so with this coronavirus, so if everybody who reads Japji Sahib da Paath, will they get better? No, Bhai Sahib Bhai Ranveer Singh ji did not read Japji Sahib da Paath by claiming that just reading this part is going to now make my father better. Bhai Sahib Bhai Ranveer Singh ji read Japji Sahib da Paath to his sick father, to his ill father, with the love that Vaheguru ji, please may you shower your mercy, may you shower your grace. Nanak Nadri Paiya, Gur Prasad. If somebody claims that I'm going to just get better just by reading this, by reading Gurbani, I'll do 15 minutes Simran and I should get better. No. Doing Simran we do to say, Maharaj, please may you bless me. The grace, the kirpa, the nadar is what made Bhai Sahib ji's father better. So it was a really nice discussion. Bhai Sahib ji never did dawa. Dawa means he never made a claim. He never was, as he said, that do this and this will happen. No. As Virji kindly mentioned, we cannot Nanak hukam na challihi na khasam chere ardas. When Bhai Sahib Bhai Ranveer Singh read Japji Sahib da Paath, he was doing it as a ardas. When Bhai Sahib Bhai Ranveer Singh read that Japji Sahib da Paath, he was talking to Maharaj and asking for kirpa. This is the kirpa which makes us better. And it's really nice that Bhai Sahib Ranveer Singh ji's life, he always, his whole life is based on Guru Prasad, the Guru's grace. And again, he lived a life of humility as well. So very nice. So I think that's everybody's thing. I think please Gurmukhi vich kirpa, Gurmukho Gurmukhi vich kirpa karo. Sorry for that. Acha theek hai ji. How to keep a babek rahat if you are a school student and don't know how to manage properly, and sometimes fellow students use to make fun of that you are not living your life. So ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ, ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਭਾਈ ਹਰਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਹੈ, ਫਿਰ ਥੋੜਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੱਸ ਦਿਓ. ਸੋ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਹੈ, ਫਿਰ ਵਿਵੇਕ ਰਹਿਤ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਆ, ਖਾਣ ਦਾ ਵਿਵੇਕ ਦਾ ਰਹਿਤ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਕੂਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਕਈ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੱਸਦੇ ਆ. ਸੋ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਆਸੇ ਇਨ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਐਂਡ ਇਨ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ. ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿਵੇਕ ਰਹਿਤ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਰਕੇ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਆ? Are you keeping this discipline because of the world, or to please others, or is it to please Guru Sahib? तेरी भगत नो छोड़ो भावे लोग हसें. ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਭਗਤੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਹੁਕਮਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਛੱਡਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੇ ਲੋਕ ਹੱਸਦੇ ਆ. Somebody is laughing at us, we don't give up following Guru Sahib's hukams. So we should carry on. So one thing is, when we keep in babek, that you're doing it for Guru Sahib and for Guru Sahib's khushi alone, not for anybody else. Whether the whole world thinks you're silly, the whole world thinks you are strict, or you lost the plot, it makes no sense. ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵਿਵੇਕ ਰਹਿਤ ਰੱਖੀ ਆ, ਖਾਣ ਦੀ ਵਿਵੇਕ ਦਾ ਰਹਿਤ ਪਹਿਰਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਹੈ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖਣਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਰੱਖਣਾ. ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਿ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ, ਇਹਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਵਾਲਾ, ਇਹਦਾ ਕੁਛ ਇਹ 'ਚ ਕੁਛ ਵਿਚਾਰਨ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ. ਸੋ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਜਿਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵਿਵੇਕ ਰਹਿਤ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਕਮ ਮੰਨਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ, ਪੈਰ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਬਾਹਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਦਿਖਾਵਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ। ਵੀ not make a big hoo-ha out of this. So it's not like, oh, look at my butter, look at my butter, look everybody my butter for ya, dekho ji, look I made bread myself, I'm not eating your bread. Just keep it simple, get on with it. बड़ा सिंपली अपना बनाओ, अपना खाओ, ये कोई बड़ा इशू बनाने की लोड़ ही नहीं। आम बंदा बाला उन्हें मुंह के सामने जाकर देखो, I'm not eating what you're eating, I've made something at home, I don't eat it. You don't need to say anything. Keep it simple. Anybody ask at work people when they first, because sometimes you have to give, if somebody asks you a question, if you don't answer them, they will sometimes, that will make people sometimes go in a negative direction. So it's very important to address people's questions, but you don't have to give the full picture. So कई बारी I've had in work situations in previous work environments where किसी ने मतलब पूछना कि तुसी खाना क्यों नहीं खा रहे, तो मैं healthy शकदा अपना घर दा बनया खलांदा, ता मैं अपना थोड़ा health दा ख्याल रखदा है. There's no problem. So I said, so I don't eat from outside and I cook my own food and bring my own lunch because it's part of my diet, is part of my health plan. Now that's not lying, because part of your spiritual health plan, eating from Ratavan Gursix, doing Simran part from cooking food, is part of your spiritual health plan. So it's, you're not lying. So but at the same time, that's enough information for them to digest. Yeah, that's no problem. So rather than say, oh, he doesn't eat because of X, Y, Z, they will say he does not eat from here because he keeps healthy and he's got a set regime. बहुत सारे इदा दे लोग है ਜਿਹੜੇ जिम ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਉਹ ਆਮ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ। ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਜੀ ਪਰੌਠਾ, ਉਹ ਪਰੌਠਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਖਾਂਦੇ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ no ਪਰੌਠਾ, I sticking to my shake. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ shake ਬਣਾਇਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ shake ਹੀ ਪੀਣਾ, I'm going to drink my shake. So no one takes offense to that, because so the same thing, you say I just follow my own diet regime that I bring, I've made my own food. So keep it to which people can digest, and Guru Sahib kirpa karenge. Hopefully that's answered your question. It's question हो गया। तो बहुत धन्यवाद जी वीर जी। सो मेरे ख्याल में इन्ना का बहुत है जी। सो अपना सोदर टाइम हो गया। इन्नी एक बेनती से किसी का मैंने मैसेज भी आया सी, एंड द मैसेज वाज एक सी नितनेम बारे सी। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट नॉट टू मिस नितनेम। नितनेम ना मिस करो। आज भी किसी नाल मेरी गलबात हो रही सी। I was talking to somebody today, they wanted some help। तो गल चलती सी that about Nithanim there as well. When people stop doing Nithanim, it leads to depression, it leads to a spiritual downhill slope। ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਿਤਨੇਮ ਛੱਡ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਬੰਦਾ ਡੁੱਬ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ, ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਡੁੱਬ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਵਿਸ਼ੇ ਵਿਕਾਰਾਂ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਡੁੱਬ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ। ਇਹ ਨਿਤਨੇਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਬਾਂਹ ਫੜਨੀ ਆ। How doing your Nithanim is like holding on to the hand of Guru Sahib Ji। ਦੱਸਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ ਭਾਈ ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਭਾਈ ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਬਾਕੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਸੋ ਸਿੱਖਸ ਵਿਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਆ ਵੋਕਿੰਗ, ਤਾਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਪਾਣੀ ਵਗ ਰਿਹਾ। there's water stream, ਨਹਿਰ ਕਰ ਲਓ ਜਾਂ ਪਾਣੀ ਦਰਿਆ ਸੀ, ਕੋਈ ਪਾਣੀ ਵਗ ਰਿਹਾ, there's some water going down। ਉੱਤੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ, ਕਲਗੀਧਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕੋਈ ਵੱਟਾ ਚੁੱਕਿਆ। he picked up a pebble or a rock। ਵੱਟਾ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਹੱਥ ਵਿੱਚ, held Guru Gobind held the pebble or the, you can say, rock or stone in his hand। ਤਾਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਹੱਥ ਖੋਲ੍ਹੀ, opened his hand, ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਪੱਥਰ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਵੱਟਾ ਸੀ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਿਆ, ਪਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਿਆ। it fell in the water। ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਸੱਚੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖੋ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ, what happened? So when he asked Sikhs said, look Maharaj ji, you opened your hand and then with the weight of the stone it fell in the water। ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੱਥ ਖੋਲ੍ਹਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਪੱਥਰ ਦੇ ਭਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਡਿੱਗ ਪਿਆ। ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਪੱਥਰ ਭਾਰਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਪੱਥਰ ਡੁੱਬ ਗਿਆ ਪਾਣੀ ਵਿੱਚ। That someone said that the rock or the stone is heavy and because of that it drowned in the water। ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹਰੇਕ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਵਾਬ ਦਿੱਤਾ। Everybody gave their answers। Then when it came to ਭਾਈ ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਸੁਣਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਈ ਨੰਦ ਲਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਸੀ, ਪਰ ਰੀਸੈਂਟਲੀ ਮੈਂ ਭਾਈ ਪਿੰਦਰਪਾਲ ਸਿੰਘ, ਭਾਈ ਦਇਆ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਹੀ ਸੀ। ਇਹ ਲਿਖਤੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੜ੍ਹਿਆ, ਇਹ ਸੁਣਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ in oral tradition। I haven't read it in writing। they said that when Bhai Daya Singh Ji was asked this question, Bhai Daya Singh Ji ਕਹਿੰਦੇ Satguru, ਜਿੰਨਾ ਚਿਰ ਪੱਥਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਿਆ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਤਰਦਾ ਸੀ, ਜਦੋਂ ਪੱਥਰ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਥ ਛੱਡ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਡੁੱਬਣਾ ਹੀ ਸੀ. As long as the stone was attached to you, to your hand, it was saved. As soon as the stone left your hand, left touching your hand, it was going to drown. What else would happen? And that was a lovely metaphor, a lovely example to share with us the importance of Nitnem. Sada Nitnem, asi us patthar varge a, ta Guru Sahib da hath farna Nitnem a. We are like that stone, that rock, and our Nitnem is holding hand of Guru Sahib. Even if you wake up late for any reason, we should all wake up Amrit Vela. No one is perfect though. For any reason, किसी कारण करके तुहाडे तो अमृत वेले नहीं उठ होया, पहली गल है तुसी जरूर अरदास करो सच्चे पातशाह गलती हो गई, सच्चे पातशाह के पिछले अगम बख्शे पवागे मार पावे. That never accept waking up outside अमृत वेला is good. इन्हों कदी ये नहीं मानना कि अमृत वेला तो जे लेट उठ के चंगी गल है. ਉਹ ਵੀ ਮਨ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਯਾਰ ਐਵੇਂ ਉੱਠੀ ਜਾਣਾ, good feeling. We should have not good feeling waking up after Amrit Vela. We should always know in the heart that I should be waking up Amrit Vela. Then we have hope to wake up Amrit Vela. So by chance, especially youngsters, if you wake up late for any reason, please still do your Nitnem. If you cannot say your Nitnem, you can listen to your Nitnem. But please take time out and keep holding the hand of Guru Sahib. Then have your breakfast. फिर अपने मुँह च नितनेम तो पहला अन्न ना पाओ मूँह दे विच. पानी छक सकदे, जल छकदे सिंह. So you can drink water, जिद्दां पंज प्यारे दसदे आ. You can drink water if your mouth dries. However, do not eat any food. कुछ अन्न नहीं खाना जिन्ना चेक नितनेम ना पूरा. इहदा मतलब कि कितने प्यारियां रहता है. There's a very lovely discipline Guru Sahib has given us that a Sikh never gives up his Nitnem, because if you can't live without food, you can't live without your Nitnem as a Sikh. And so that's why Guru Sahib says this, do your Nitnem first, then do you have your breakfast. ठीक है जी, इन्नी क बेनती प्रवान करनी है. जे चंगा लगा तो we can continue another time. तुसी मैसेज पा सकते हैं. बाद दे विच बहुत धन्नवाद सारिਆਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਨਾਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ. ਵੈਰੀ ਨਾਈਸ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਜ਼ਰਾ ਮਿਲ ਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਂਝੀਆਂ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਆ. ਸੋ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ. I don't think there's any questions left in this box either ਨਹੀਂ. So thank you very much everybody. ਮਾਲ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਨ during this time whilst everybody is at home. Let's make the most of it. And sikhbookclub.com was the website for books. तो बहुत सारिया बुक्कां पंजाबी विच गुरमुखी विच मिल जांदियां. जरूर अल्लाह लो कीर्तन कर सकते हो तुसी. कोई रिसर्च करो, खोज करो, गुरबाणी दा अर्थ सुन लो. Listen to the meanings of Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Let's keep it positive, keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate things. Simple रखिए तो बस प्रेम नाल तुरी जाइए. सोहने मन अपना गुरु साहब खुशियां लैण वास्ते कोशिश करिए. तो ये विच ही मेरे ख्याल लाभ ही आ, लाभ दा लाभ ही आ. It's all benefit if we keep it simple and just think that we're just going to do those things where we can get Guru Sahib's happiness. बहुत धन्नवाद सारे. वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह.